Okay, very happy to welcome Aditya Prabhu, Ajit Prabhu, Chaitanya Sairam Prabhu, Ashwin Prabhu, Paras Prabhu, and Abhay Prabhu. Is there someone pending to join?
Prabhu, I spoke to Ashish Rena Prabhu. He's traveling today
Okay.
and he won't be able to join. And I called Kunal Prabhu, but he did not pick up the call.
Kunal Mewade. Yeah, Kunal Mewade is missing. Kunal Mewade is missing. Ashish Rena is missing. Okay. Anybody else is missing? No, right? Yeah, I don't think anyone else is missing. Okay, somebody had given one name which was added, Nagaraju. Who had given Nagaraju's name?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's me.
Yeah, Nagaraju is not joining. Why?
He is busy with work and all. He's not my call only.
So he is your friend. You have to convince him to join.
Yes,
Once
Prabhu.
he starts joining, then he will get the taste of devotee association. So it's your responsibility, Prabhuji, Chaitanya Prabhu,
Okay,
to make sure that he joins. And it's
Okay,
also the
Prabhu.
responsibility of everybody to each one teach one while being taught by one. We all have to take a vrata that in 2021, we have to bring one new person to Krishna consciousness. Each one teach one while being taught by one. So it is everybody's personal responsibility. Paras Prabhu should find out one person and he should preach to that person. Ashwin Kannan Prabhu should find out one person and he should preach to that person. Similarly, Chaitanya Prabhu, Ajit Prabhu, Aditya Ramesh Prabhu, Abhay Prabhu, and also myself, all of us, we have to find one new person and we have to preach to that new person. Otherwise, how will the message spread? So, for the time being, we know that there is a prospective devotee called Nagaraju Prabhu. So, we request Chaitanya Prabhu to kindly talk to him and get him into these sessions, because otherwise it's very difficult for us to assist him or get his association. Okay. So with this, we would like to start today's discussion. We are reading a very nice chapter today. The name of the chapter is Punishment. This is the 9th chapter of the book, Second Chance. I'm going to share my screen now. But before that, can we have a quick revision? What did we read in the previous section? Can we have a quick revision, please? Just a few points. What did we read last week? If at all we remember something. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, we mainly discussed about dharma, religion, and adharma.
Okay, what is dharma and what is a dharma? That's a good point. Any other points? Are you trying to say something, Aditya Bro? We are not able to hear you. If you're trying to say something. Okay.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Any other point? Anybody remembers?
Prabhuji, maybe the Yamadutas told that Yamaraja is the bona fide person, so we are working under him. So What rights do you have to stop us from taking this sinful ajna?
Okay, very good point. That Yamaraja had to tell, I mean, these Yamadutas had to tell, they were thinking that Yamaraja is the ultimate authority. And they had never met the Vishnudutas, so they were thinking, hey, what right? These Vishnudutas, although they look very nice, they look from not from this world, but what right do they have to stop us? Because we are doing our dharma. Okay, so what we will do, this is an exercise. Next class onwards, Abhay Charan Prabhu wants to say something.
Yes, Guruji, like
Yes,
one more
Prabhu.
point was one more point which we discussed in the last session, and I like this. Guru is not a plaything, and like disciple is should seriously look for a guru, and guru also should not accept disciples just for namesake. So in the Bhagavatam, a very nice shloka is there. Tasmat gurum prapadyeta jignashu sreya uttamam sabde pare cha nishnatam brahmani upashamashrayam. So
Very good.
this shloka talks about like the same thing. One who wants ultimate benefit should search for a bona fide guru, and guru should also be serious in in accepting disciples and giving him the ultimate benefit, not a plaything. This point I like very much. Last session.
Very good. Last session, we also talked about how guru should be a prakat guru. One cannot take initiation directly from Krishna. We need to have someone who is physically present with us. If I have a great grandfather, and if my great grandfather is let's say, a great musician, I never met him, I never saw him, I've only heard about him, I can't say that my great grandfather is my teacher. I have to go and take lessons in music from someone who is there, who can show me how to play the mridanga or how to play the guitar or the sitar. So guru should be prakat. And we understood we also talked a little bit about the Ritvik philosophy, if I'm not wrong. And over the week, we shared some videos by which we understood in a little more greater depth about the fallacy of this Ritvik philosophy. In case any one of you have any questions about it, you can please message me, call me, and discuss with me in more detail. Yeah. And as a homework, what we will do next session onwards, whenever we meet, we will first try to revise what we have learned in the previous sessions. So please have a notebook and a pen with you and make some notes. These notes will help us. When we are passing through some difficult phase in life, if we see these notes, they give us a lot of encouragement and they inspire us to move in the right direction. Even before I begin, I have a short question for all of you. I hope that all of you are chanting every day. You're trying to chant at least 4 rounds every day. If you are doing so, can you please raise your hands to confirm? Okay. Thank you. Some of you have confirmed. Okay. We are looking for confirmation from 2 more people. Okay. 1 person has not yet confirmed. Okay. Okay, no problem. Maybe he confirmed in the chat. Thank you. Okay, I also have one more question for all of you. I gave a session on Nityanand Trayodashi on last Sunday, or preparing the consciousness for Nityanand Trayodashi. And also this Thursday, we had Nityanand Trayodashi. We had Nityanand Trayodashi on this Thursday. So were any of you, I hope that all of you were able to attend a few of these sessions. the session which happened on Thursday, or the session which happened on, what can I say? The session which was given on Sunday, were you able to hear these sessions? Were you able to understand who is Lord Nityananda and what is the concept of this Nityananda Trayodashi? If you have not been able to catch it up, please listen to the lecture which was posted in the Krishna Kutir group, which we have. And I think we have posted. There was a lecture which was given by me on Sunday, in which I was explaining who is Lord Nityananda. I started with that. First, I started with a bhajan, and then I explained the Nityananda Tattva. Who is Lord Nityananda? What is our relationship with him? And then I went on to explain some pastimes of Lord Nityananda. And then finally, I concluded with how the mercy of Lord Nityananda is very, very important to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and how the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is very important to get the mercy of Radha and Krishna. So essentially speaking, if we want to reach the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, we have to first get the shelter of Lord Nityananda. Aditya Ramesh Prabhu is telling, you were talking about the sevas, and Harikshit Prabhu was talking about the pastimes. Yeah, this was the session which happened on the day of Nityananda Trayodashi. Yes. If you have seen that, that's very good. But for those who have not much idea about Lord Nityananda, I recommend them to see the class which was given on Sunday, Nityananda Kathamrit, it was called. There, the entire concept of Nityananda Prabhu and our relationship with him was explained. By the way, how many of you know who is Lord Nityananda? Can you please know, like, have fully understood who is Lord Nityananda? Can you please raise your hand and let me know? Okay, one person. What about others? Okay, if others do not very clearly know, then it is a recommendation that you please hear this session, which was given about Lord Nityananda, our relationship with him and our glories, and his glories, rather, that will help us. Because very soon, next month, 28th of March, is Gaur Purnima. And that is the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya. So without understanding the inconceivable mercy about Lord Nityananda, it is not possible to approach the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. So if you really want to celebrate Gaur Purnima in a nice way, in a way in which you are actually understanding what you are doing, then you need to understand who is Lord Nityananda. And for that, you need to go through this lecture which was given. This is a homework. We will follow up with all of you and we'll check with you whether you heard it or not. Okay. So let's begin today's session. I'm going to share my screen. Chapter 9, Punishment. Okay, can we start reading? Who would like to start reading today? Aditya Ramesh Prabhu, your voice is...
Can I start?
You can start, but your voice is breaking. I think there is a serious network problem at your side.
Prabhuji, I have a network problem.
Yeah, so if network problem is there, then it will be difficult it is to read.
Prabhu, shall I read?
Okay, Ajit Prabhu, please begin.
The Yamadutas continued. The supreme cause of all the causes, supreme causes of all the causes, Narayana, is situated in his adobe in the spiritual world, but still he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. In this way, all living entities are awarded different qualities, different names, such as Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, different duties according to the Varnashrama institution, and different forms. Thus, Narayana is a cause of an entire cosmic manifestation. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and super soul himself all witnesses the activities of the living entity. The candidates for punishment are those who are confirmed by these many witnesses to have deviated from their prescribed duties. Everyone engaged in a fruitive activities is suitable to be subjected to punishment according to his sinful acts. O inhabitants of Vaikunta, you are sinless, but those within the material world are all fruitive workers, whether acting piously or impiously. Both kinds of action are possible for them because they are contaminated by the three modes of nature and must act accordingly. One who has accepted a material body cannot be inactive and sinful. Sinful action is inevitable for one acting under the modes of material nature. Therefore, all the living entities within this material world are punishable. Thus, in the proportion to the extent of one's religious or irreligious actions in this life, one must enjoy or suffer the corresponding reactions of his karma in the next. Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 1st chapter, 41 to 45.
Very nice.
Slokas.
Thank you. Thank you. So what are these? There are some very, very vital points in this passage, in these 4 verses which we just read, 41 to 45. The Yamdutas are first of all acknowledging that Narayana is situated in the spiritual world. He's not a part of this material world essentially. He only descends sometimes. But however, he controls the entire cosmic manifestation. And people are contaminated by the various modes of material nature. These modes are mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. And they affect us differently. I think some time ago I had shared a video how these modes contaminate us, the influence of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance on the spirit soul. It was a short drama. I hope all of you have seen it. Have you seen it? Can you please confirm by raising your hand if you saw that drama, which was circulated during the Gita course? Did you all see it? Wow. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just take a note. We have to circulate it. So we have to circulate 2 things. First is the lecture which was given on Sunday. I think it was posted here. But we'll again post and we'll request devotees to hear and share points. And the lecture on this drama of 10-15 minutes, it's a drama where it is shown how the spirit soul is pure, but how it behaves when it comes in the mode of goodness, and how it behaves when it comes in the mode of passion, and how it behaves when it comes in the mode of ignorance, and that all these 3 modes are contaminating, basically. Can someone explain me how all this mode of goodness is also contamination? Can someone try to explain? How mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance is okay, we understand mode of ignorance is contamination. But how mode of goodness and mode of passion is contamination? Can someone explain? Okay, somebody's chatting. Because as human beings, we are never perfect. That's okay, that's correct. But how these modes of material nature is bondage? How is it contaminating us? You see, it is told here in the second verse, in the second paragraph. The candidates for punishment are those who are... No, in the last paragraph it is saying that, O inhabitants of Vaikuntha, you are sinless. But those within the material world are all fruitive workers, whether acting piously or impiously. That means even that person who is acting piously is suitable for punishment. Both our kinds of action are possible for them because they are contaminated by the 3 modes of material nature and must act accordingly. So one who has accepted a material body cannot be inactive, and sinful action is inevitable for one who is acting under the modes of material nature. Basically, they are trying to say that anybody who has taken birth in this material world, anybody, I repeat, anybody who has taken birth in this material world, who is acting under the modes of material nature, whether it is pious or impious, whether it is punya or whether it is pap, they are contaminated by the modes of material nature. That means one who has accepted a material body cannot be inactive, and sinful action is inevitable. Anybody who is influenced by any of these modes of material nature, whether it is mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance, they will be sinful. So therefore, the Yamadutas are saying that why are you interfering? According to us, the whole world is full of fruitive workers. Everybody in this material world is a fruitive worker, like that they are saying. And they are acting under the modes of material nature, whether piously or impiously. So therefore, everybody in the material world is fit to be punished by us, the Yamadutas. Now, we don't need to see who is, basically, when Vishnudutas will ask who is punishable and who is not punishable. So they say that everybody is punishable because everybody is fruitive worker, fruitive mentality. I'll do this, I'll get that. I'll do this, I'll get that. I'll do this, I'll get that. If I do this much, then I'll get more. This is called fruitive mentality. What is in it for me? Like things like that. So everybody is thinking like that, and everybody is acting under the modes of goodness, modes of passion, modes of ignorance, either piously or impiously. And even just by their existence in this material world, inevitably, uncontrollably, they are ending up doing sins. So therefore, the Yamadutas are saying that everybody is punishable. Now, we don't have to see who is qualified to go to Yamaraj or not. We have to simply come here, catch the people and take them. Because everybody who has taken birth in this material world is a fruitive worker and is liable to be punished by us. That is what they are saying. So, the question is, why who is someone who is acting as per under the influence of the modes of material nature, why even the mode of goodness is bad? Parasprabhu is answering, it is because even in the mode of goodness we perform activities for us, not for Krishna. Those sattvic, the activities are not for Krishna. So we have to rise above all the three modes. Very nice answer. There is a verse of Bhagavad Gita which says this. Can you try to find out and tell me that verse? I'll give you a hint. Krishna says, Traya Gunyo Vishya Veda Nistraya Gunyo Bhavarjuna. Try to find that verse, the verse number, full translation, and then you can speak it out or you can paste it here. So that is the problem. That is the point. Even if you are in the mode of goodness, you are struggling. BG 2.45. Okay, I thought you would post it here. Okay, I'll only open it. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, shloka number 45. See. It says, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Satvastho Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Traigunya, pertaining to the three modes of material nature, Vishayaha, on the subject matter, Vedaha, Vedic literatures, Nistraigunya, transcendental to the three modes of material nature, Bhava, be, Arjuna, O Arjuna, Nirdvandvaha, without duality, Nitya Satvastha, in pure state of spiritual existence, Niryoga Kshemaha, free from the ideas of gain and protection, Atmavan, established in the self. Translation. Krishna is telling to Arjuna in the second chapter, the Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all the dualities. and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So basically, anybody who is not rising above the three modes of material nature is a sinful person, liable to be taken to the court of Yamraj. Just see what is there in the purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results, which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with the fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position of transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and a friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of the Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All the living entities who are in the material world struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after the creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom on advising them how to get rid of this material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely Karma-Kand chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered them in the form of Upanishads, which are a different part of Vedas, and the Bhagavad Gita, which is a part of the fifth Veda, namely Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of the transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. Transcendental position is achieved by full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. So as long as this material body will be there, there will be reactions in the modes of material nature. However, one who has become transcendental, that means one who has become Krishna conscious, has risen above the three modes of material nature. The example of a person who is contaminated by the modes of material nature is as follows. Such people like poets, scientists, philosophers, they have a disciplined life. But the contamination there is that they start thinking that their life is very happy. They are earning nicely some money. And because of that, they are a little bit proud of their knowledge. They are thinking that they are the karta, they are the doer. And they want to remain in that situation. The present day modern education talks nothing about the spiritual life. So the present day teachers and professors, they are also in that category. They wake up 5 a.m. in the morning and they start studying what they have to teach in the school or in the college. I had a professor who used to wake up every day at 4 a.m. and study what they had to teach that day in the college. Revise maybe, make notes. And then they will come, they will teach, they'll go home. They had a strict lifestyle, but they were contaminated by the mode of goodness. They were really contaminated. They were thinking they are great. They are very good people, but of course they had no spiritual knowledge. And because they have no spiritual understanding, if you ask them the purpose of life, they will say, oh, the purpose of life is simply to study, get nice marks, which is our prescribed. There is a difference between purpose of life and prescribed duty. Duty of a student is to study. That's understood. But that's not the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to go back home, back to Godhead. So such people, these professors, these teachers, they were sometimes also very proud of their position. They were thinking that they are highly knowledge people, and they were conditioned in that way, and they were getting some money, some respect. So they had started to think that this life is a very good situation, a very happy life. Now imagine the misfortune of a person who has started to think that this material world is a very nice place. It's like thinking that I went into the toilet, I passed my stool and urine, and after that I spreaded one bed sheet there, and there only I started sleeping. That is the position of a person who starts to think that this material world is a very nice place. It's called conditioned by the mode of goodness. Another conditioning of the mode of goodness is this is very common in South India. People regularly go to temple. That is very good habit. Every weekend they will go to temple. But if you try to give them Bhagavad Gita, they'll say, no. I have grown up hearing to the Bhagavad Gita. Why do I need the Bhagavad Gita? Oh, very nice, sir. You have grown up hearing to the Bhagavad Gita. Can you tell me what is the purpose of life which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? Oh, no, I don't have time to discuss all that. What is the purpose of life? If I will ask to someone, they'll say, just do your work. Don't worry about the results. This is the purpose of life. So they don't know. However, they have been in an environment, especially in South India, this Gita Parayan is very famous. All people will come and sit in one place. They'll open the Bhagavad Gita and they'll chant all 700 slokas, which will take 2 hours or so. But if you ask them what is the meaning of one shloka, they don't want to talk about that. They say, we want to do Gita Parayan. There are so many parents who themselves are not Krishna conscious, but they want their children to be Krishna conscious. For what? So that their children can do Gita Parayan, recitation of Gita. This is called contamination in the mode of goodness. Nice family is there, nice dog is there, nice house is there. We are not engaged in many sinful habits. But at the same time, I'm not interested in Krishna consciousness also. Mode of passion. Mode of passion means I'm spiritually completely dull. If you talk to me about God consciousness, I will just change the topic. Why? Because I have to go to the market, get the vegetable, I have to go there and get this job done. I have to, sit for 12 hours in front of my laptop and work. Otherwise, the whole world will crash. And then I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to get that, I have to get this, I have to take care of my parents, I have to take care of my society, I have to take care of everyone around me. The whole world revolves around me. I am the central person here. If I'm not there, everything will go for a toss. I'm so busy that I cannot do anything. I cannot chant because I'm very busy. I cannot read Prabhupada books because I'm really busy. I can't hear his lectures because my family depends upon me. I can't come on yatras because I'm too busy. I can't associate with devotees because I'm too busy. This is called mode of passion. Mode of ignorance means it is illusion and delusion from the beginning till the end. That people who are generally in ignorance and depression, you will see that they sleep a lot. They really sleep a lot. If you see someone who is sleeping too much, immediately you should understand that they are in ignorance and depression. And then they'll have all kinds of bad habits like sleeping too much, not having bath regularly every day, and no cleanliness, bad habits. They'll be drinking, they'll be engaged in so many intoxications, bad association, too much addiction to Netflix, YouTube, movies, serials, seasons, and all those things. This is called mode of ignorance. So, the Bhagavad Gita says we have to rise above these modes of material nature. Only when we rise above these modes of material nature, even if somebody is in the mode of goodness, still they are sinful. As Paras Prabhu said, because still that person will be personally motivated, engaged in fruitive mentality. If somebody becomes Krishna conscious, then they will understand how they have to work, how much they have to work, for what they have to work, what is their purpose of going to office, what is their purpose of going to school. They will understand very nicely. And so therefore, whatever they will do, just like a soldier who is there in the army, he is killing hundreds of people, but he's not getting any reactions. Why? Because he's doing it because he has got an instruction from a higher authority. Similarly, when you do something for Krishna, you are on the transcendental plane. Just like a soldier, although he has killed 10 people today, he is not liable to be punished. Similarly, when we act for Krishna or for the devotees of Krishna on the plane of Krishna consciousness, we generate no reactions. Otherwise, whether we are in mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, whatever we do will generate some reactions. And because of those reactions, we are liable to be punished and will be taken to the court of Yamaraj. So therefore, in material world, anybody who is not Krishna conscious, anybody who is not chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, anybody who is not chanting the names of the Lord, which is the Yuga Dharma, anybody who is engaged in these four primary sinful activities of meat eating, intoxication, illicit sexual activities, and gambling, and contaminated by the modes of material nature, whatever, everybody will be dragged to the court of Yamaraj, no matter what they do. So that is the explanation of these four verses. Now we will read the purport. Purports are quite simple today. Can someone next try to read this purport?
Yes, Prabhu.
No, Ajit Prabhu, you have read. Can another person can get a chance? Can I request Ashwin Kannan Prabhu to read, if possible? Okay. In case he is not available, then I will request Kunal Mewade Prabhu to read.
Sure, Prabhuji, I'll read. Could you please highlight the portion?
Start from.
Yeah. Shall I start?
Please.
Yeah. The cause behind all activities. The Shvetaswara Upanishad, the 6.8 inform us, na tasya karyam karanam cha vidayate, na tat.
You first listen how to recite shlokas, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
If you listen, we all have to listen to our seniors and learn. So see how it is recited. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natat samaschabhiyadhikascha drishyate, parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate, swabhavaki jnana bala kriya cha. This is how you recite.
Okay, Prabhuji. Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Almighty, omnipotent. He is multifarious energies, and therefore he is able to remain in his own abode without endeavor, supervise and manipulate the entire cosmic manifestation through the interaction of the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion and ignorance. These interactions create different forms, bodies, activities and changes which all occur perfectly because of Lord is perfect. Everything works as if he were directly supervising and taking part in it. Aesthetic man, however, being covered by three modes of material nature, cannot see that Narayana is the supreme cause behind all activities. Lord Krishna confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7 chapter 13 verse. Tribhira guna mayara bhavayar itivah sarvam idam jagatah Moti ham nabi janati mam ibhya param avyayam. Deluded by the three modes, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
It's a
Prabhuji.
very nice point. Deluded by the three modes, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. There is so much discussion going on. This, that, people argue who is God. The scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, they are very clear about it. The Bhagavad Gita says, Tribhir guna mayar bhave Ebhihi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramam avyayam. So anybody who is above the modes of material nature will immediately understand who is God. God is Krishna. And so therefore they will become God conscious. They'll become Krishna conscious. That is the understanding. But those who are in the modes of material nature, they will never understand. They will never know who is God. They'll never understand who is Krishna. This is the problem. Krishna is such a sublime personality, the supreme personality of Godhead, that until and unless someone is above the modes of material nature, they cannot even begin to think about him also or perceive him also. That is the greatness of Krishna. So we have to rise above the three modes of material nature, and the only way to do it is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Okay. Can someone read the next compelled to work section?
Compelled to work, there are three energies of the Supreme Lord. The internal energy, Parashakti, the marginal energy, the external energy. The living entities belong to the material energy because they can
Marginal energy. The living entities belong to the marginal energy.
Okay. And the external energy, the living entities belongs to the marginal energy because they can come under the influence of either the internal or external energy of the Lord. By nature, they also belong to the Parashakti, but when they come under the control of the material energy, they are known as Kshetragna Shakti, knowers of the material field. In other words, the direct internal energy of God is spiritual, Para, and the living entities have the same nature, Para, but in contract with the material energy, Kshetra, the living entity accepts a material body as his self and is thus forced to act, manipulating the five senses. The Amadutas say that everyone with a material body must work. An ant and an elephant both have to work. The ant requires only a grain of sugar for his sustenance, where the elephant requires 300 kilograms of food daily, but both must work for it. Foolish people say that the Vaishnavas do not work, but the Vaishnavas work for Krishna 24 hours a day. There are not idle do nothings. While we are in this material world, we have to work, but we work for Krishna. That is not really work or karma. It is dharma, practical religion. Unless one work for Krishna, all his labor is adharma, irreligious sense gratification.
Very nice. So you see, this compelling thing to work. Anybody who has a material body will be forced to work. Even breathing is a work. You cannot say that I'll not breathe. You cannot stay for more than a particular amount of time. First, Prabhupada is explaining what are the different energies Krishna has. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. These are my external separated energies. So external, Krishna has broadly classifying, Krishna has multifarious energies, nobody can classify. But broadly for understanding discussion purpose, if you classify, there are three energies. They are Parashakti, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti. Sorry, Bahiranga Shakti, which is also Parashakti, Antaranga Shakti, which is internal energy, and marginal potency, Tatastha Shakti, which is also called as in this case, yeah, that's the name has not been given. Only marginal energy. Something for your notebook. Three classification of Krishna's energy: external, marginal, internal. External is called as Bahiranga Shakti. Marginal is called as Tatastha Shakti, and internal is called as Antaranga Shakti. So all the various expansions of Krishna, such as Ram, Narsimha, Varaha, Lakshmi, and all the other paraphernalia of Krishna, they are all internal energy of Krishna. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, they are external energies of Krishna. Spirit, soul, or Jivatma is Tatastha Shakti or marginal energy. It is like on the shore of the ocean. Sometimes you go on the seashore, you will see sometimes water is there, sometimes water is not there. So Tatastha Shakti is like that. It is there on the border. Sometimes it is influenced by the internal energy of Krishna. Sometimes it is influenced by the external energy of Krishna. Whichever this spirit soul chooses to take shelter of, in that direction it goes. If somebody wants to defy the orders of God, defy the orders of Krishna, and they want to live a life based on their own whims and fancies, deny the existence of God, God is dead, and all those statements, I'm an atheist, they will become the servants of external energy or Maya. If somebody is trying to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then they are taking shelter of the internal energy of Krishna. And then slowly they will go back home, back to God. However, we, the Jivatmas, are constitutionally Tatastha Shakti of Krishna. That means we have tendency to be attracted either by internal energy or the external energy. This tendency is not there in the external energy. This tendency is not there in the internal energy. Only the Tatastha Shakti has that tendency, either here or there, andar ya bahar. No, they will always be like that. So if we become fixed up and take shelter of the internal energy of Krishna, then we will become very strong and we will never come back to the service of Maya. So Prabhupada very nicely explains here that everybody has to work, whether an ant or an elephant. But it appears that devotees of the Lord are not doing anything. But that's not the reality. Everybody is doing something, but the devotees, Krishna conscious people, they are working for Krishna. That is work. You have to work 24 hours a day. But the difference is that others are working 24 hours a day for the purpose of their sense gratification. But devotees of Krishna are working for the, you can say, gratification of Krishna. So therefore, whatever they do does not produce any reactions. The whole world is busy working. Still they are running short of everything. But devotees of Krishna are simply working for Krishna and they are happy. And Prabhupada says, while we are in the material world, we have to work, but we work for Krishna. That is not really work or karma, it is dharma. Karma produces results. We have explained in Bhagavad Gita, there is sakarma, vikarma, akarma. Sakarma is pious actions, vikarma is impious actions, akarma means bhakti, work for Krishna. So a devotee performs akarma, and akarma is the dharma or the practical religion. And unless one works for Krishna, all his labor is adharma. So one can, be very, very pious, claiming that, oh, I am this, I am that, I've done this, I've done that. But if we have to just see, is he working for Krishna? If the answer is no, everything is lost. Okay. Who will read next? I think Chaitanya Sairam Prabhu has read, Kunal Mewade Prabhu has read. Ashwin Karan Prabhu told he's traveling. Paras Prabhu, can you read? Is it possible?
Okay, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
On the basis of a man's nature, the real aim of life is to satisfy Krishna, and Varnashrama Dharma is the institution of that ideal in human society. The Varnashrama system divides society into 4 spiritual orders, ashramas, and 4 social classes, varnas. The spiritual orders are the brahmacharis, celibate students, the grihasthas, householders living under spiritual regulation, the vanaprasthas, retirees, and the sannyasis, renunciants. The 4 social orders are the brahmanas, intellectuals, Kshatriyas, warriors and administrators, the Vaishyas, farmers and businessmen, and the Shudras, manual laborers. Without the principles of Varnashrama Dharma, human society is almost animal society. Indeed, human civilization begins when human beings accept the four social and spiritual divisions of society, according to quality and work. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 4.13, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shishtam Guna Karma Vibhugasha. I have created the four social divisions according to quality and work. In this material world, we associate with a particular combination of the modes of nature, and accordingly, we mold our character and behavior. And by this criterion, we fit into a particular social category. Today, people say that there should be no more caste system, but how can they ignore the natural designation of classes in human society? There must be a class of intelligent men, the Brahmanas, who are qualified to disseminate Vedic knowledge to the people in general. There must be a class of Kshatriyas to offer administrative rule and protection. There must be a class of merchants and farmers, the Vaishyas, who trade and perform agricultural duties such as cow protection. And there must be a class of Shudras who render service to the other classes. All men fit into these four classes, each according to this guna or nature.
Very nice. So, Krishna is very clear. He says, Chatur Varna Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. These divisions have been made by Krishna according to quality and work, not according to Janma. Present contamination in the Kali Yuga society is that it is going as per Janma. I am the son of a Brahmana, so I am also a Brahmana. Like that people speak. It is like saying I am the son of a High Court judge, so I am also a High Court judge. I am the son of a neurosurgeon, so I am also a neurosurgeon. Now, when we hear like this, we feel like laughing. How is it possible? You are the son of a High Court judge. It may be possible that you are a thief only. Similarly, son of a neurosurgeon may not be qualified as a neurosurgeon. Earlier, that was the case because in the earlier ages, in the Satyuga, Treta, and Dwapar, the training system or the education system was so nice. The Vedic training system, that it was obvious that if somebody is born in the family of a Brahmana, they'll be trained like a Brahmana and their quality and their work will become like that of a Brahmana in a very short span of time. Also, their birth, by birth, they were of different nature. There is something called as Garudam Samskar, where a parent, see, the consciousness which a man and a woman has while trying to unite with each other, that decides the consciousness of the child which is supposed to come. Paras Prabhu is speaking, Prabhu, that reminded me of Ashwatthama, who was the son of Dronacharya, but still did not act as a brahmachari. No. Dronacharya was not a brahmachari, he was a Brahmana. So, Ashwatthama was acting like a Brahmana, but he was not a fully qualified Brahmana, because of which he was punished later on. So it was so serious. And Ashwatthama and Dronacharya could also see that my son is not, Brahmana means completely selfless. So Ashwatthama was not fully selfless also. So that's why Dronacharya didn't teach him many things. He taught to Arjuna rather, who was a Kshatriya. But because he had a pure heart, Dronacharya gave him. The point which I'm trying to say here is, earlier there was something called as Garbdam Samskar. The consciousness which a man or the father and the mother they have, the mentality which they have while uniting with each other, that decides the consciousness of the child or what kind of soul gets attracted to the womb of the mother. If the union is inspired by passion and lust, then you can expect that very soon a pig mentality child will be born. That is happening in Kali Yuga. There is no concept of Gardam Samskar. Father and mother, they, out of passion, they unite with each other. Most of the times it's an accident also. And child is born. So therefore all pigs are taking birth these days. That's why it is said Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everybody is a Shudra. But in earlier ages, that was not the case. They used to do Gardan Samskar, a process of purification before uniting. So therefore, it was seen that the son of a Brahmana used to be a great Brahmana because they used to engage in the process of begetting a child in the consciousness of a Brahmana. So a soul which has the consciousness of a Brahmana would be attracted to the womb of the mother. Therefore, the son of a great Brahmana used to be a great Brahmana. The son of a great king used to be a great king. But nowadays, no such thing is there. So therefore, it was based on this division of social order. Many people are saying we are against this division system. But no matter what you say, this division system naturally exists everywhere on the earth. Like Prabhupada is saying, there will be always a class of intellectuals. Pathan, Pathan, Yajan. There will be that will be their work. You go to America, you go to Afghanistan, you go to Indonesia, you go to France. Always you will find one category of people who will be interested in teaching, who will be interested in studying, who will be interested in discussions. Pathan, Yajan. Always in whichever part of the world you go, there will be always a class of people who are not very much interested in studying, but they are very much interested in administration, execution. Always there will be a class of people who are very eager to fight and administer. They are the Kshatriya class. You may accept it or you may not, but everywhere there are people, everywhere in every part of the world, in every society rather, you will see some category of people will be the intellectual class who want to focus on, who are not very much interested in these affairs of the society and the affairs of the world. They just want to understand and teach. Pathan, Yajan. Their life works on visions. They have a vision and they work for it. They will die for that vision. There is always a class of people in whichever part of the world you go, they work for challenges. You give them a challenge, only then they will work. They are not very much so much. They don't know the principles. They may not be very far-sighted also, but they are very expert administrators, very expert fighters. That is the Kshatriya class. There is always a category of people who is only interested in money. That is the business class or the Vaishya class. They will simply do business. And there is always a category of people who are fit to be nothing. They cannot become Brahmanas, they cannot become Vaishyas, they cannot become Kshatriyas. They are a servant of their own senses. Their senses are not controlled. So they are just fit for serving others and take salary for that. That is why in Kali Yuga, you see 99% people, you ask them, what do you do? I work in this and this such and such company. I get some money from them and that's how I'm surviving. Everybody is drawing salary. Salaried people. This concept of salaried people, although it gets a lot of respect in the society these days, but this is the Shudra occupation. Shudras take salary. Brahmanas never work for salary. Never ever. Originally Brahmanas, they never take salary. Similarly, Kshatriyas, they have their own kingdom. They have their own thing to administer. Vaishyas, they have their own business. They are protecting the cows. They are doing nice agriculture. Only the Shudras who are not able to do anything, they go to other people and they work for them. Actually, the whole Vedic society was like that earlier. But this modern education system which has been introduced has made everybody into a Shudra. This British education system, this modern education system which has been produced, Western education system, was created to make everybody a slave. Now you see the situation. Everybody is simply studying all these subjects for 15 years, simply studying. They don't care what is their hobby, what is their talent, what is their area of interest, what is their potential, what is their vocation. They just keep studying. And after studying what? They don't learn any spiritual qualities. You just leave the classroom for 10 minutes, everybody will start cheating. So it is very clear there are no spiritual qualities, no moral values, no ethics, no code of conduct, nothing. They have not learned how to remain self-controlled. They have not learned how to remain clean. They have not. These things are not taught in the class also. So therefore, they enter the college or the schools to learn. I'm using the word learn because I don't know what they are learning. And they come out to do sense gratification. Once somebody learns some course or some degree, after that they become a beggar. They go from door to door of every company, give me job, give me job, give me job, give me job, like that. But the Vedic society was not like this. Vedic society was not like this. That is why the unemployment is increasing these days. The population of Earth was much, much more before in the earlier times. But there was no unemployment because everybody knew their natural way of work. There was a point of time, we know it in the history, that India had its own ships which used to do foreign trading. When foreign trading when this forex and all had not started also in the whole world, at that time India already was flourishing. So many ships and boats used to go to so many countries. Why this was happening? Because the people were God conscious. So the nature was supplying in abundance and people used to do agriculture. Now the biggest misconception in the society is that people think that economic development means open industries. The more industries you have, the more economically developed you are. This is a wrong concept. Industries work based on the raw material. And where from the raw material comes? The raw material comes from where? We have to ask this. Raw material comes from the nature. And nature will cooperate with you only when you are God conscious. Only when you do things like agriculture. The economic development of a man is measured by two things. Number one, the amount of grains which he has in stock at his home or in his fields. And number two, the number of cows which he has. This is the scriptural injunction. India was a very, very prosperous country because it was an agrarian-based civilization. The Kshatriyas were doing their work, the Brahmanas were studying and acting very nicely. And majority of the population was engaged in agriculture. The Vaishyas were the landlords and they were doing agriculture, and the Shudras, they were assisting in agriculture. So there was no shortage of anything. Nowadays, if somebody loses their job, they say, "Hum khayenge kya? What will I eat?" But this anxiety was not there only. 200 years ago, there was no beggar in India. You go to the house of anybody, they will give you food. That was the situation. Without even asking. Because everybody had enough amount of rice, enough amount of wheat, enough amount of vegetables, they had sufficient cows, so enough milk. Everything was, there was no anxiety as such. People would work for 3 or 4 months. The farmers would work for 3-4 months in a year, and they had 8 months free to visit the various dhams, to hear the Bhagavad Gita, hear the Bhagavatam, hear the Ramayana, chant Hare Krishna, go to the various pilgrimage sites, go to meet the various saintly people. That was the culture of India. Not like slogging 12 months in a year, still having no time to do anything. Oh, I'm very great. I'm an engineer. I'm earning. I'm working like a dog, but still I'm earning. But I don't have time to eat properly, sir. I can't eat nicely because I don't have time. I cannot sleep nicely. I have to take sleeping pills because so much tension is there for work and other things around it. I cannot even have a nice family life because I can't give time to my children. I can't give time to my parents. I can't give time to my spouse. And I'm always anxious about my well-being. So therefore, there is no security also. So I cannot eat nicely, I cannot sleep nicely, I cannot mate nicely, I cannot defend nicely, but we are progressing. We are all progressing. We are doing economic development. Open more and more industries. Nobody is interested in doing farming. Everybody wants to drink that packet milk. Everybody wants to drink that ready to eat food. Just heat it and eat it. And all those things, that culture is coming. No farming, nothing. Just keep open industries. Industries means all the people will quit their farming and they'll come and become slave in that industry, work for 12 hours. The government is also producing or promoting Shudra culture. People also want to become Shudras. Nobody wants to do agriculture. So in this way, the whole Varnashram system has been collapsing in the last 200 years. And everybody goes and attends this slaughterhouse education schools and colleges where there is no spiritual education. Simply learn this, learn that, learn this, learn. Why? So that you can earn after thousands and thousands of people, when they come out of the colleges, they are like, a rat race is going on. Give me job, give me job, give me job. That is why unemployment is there. Earlier, every family had 10 children and there was no unemployment. Everybody was happy. They were eating nicely, they were sleeping. Forget about spiritual life, their material life was perfect. They were eating nicely, they were sleeping nicely, they were mating nicely, and they had no anxiety of their defense. But now we have become so economically developed that we cannot eat nicely also, we cannot sleep nicely also, we cannot mate nicely also, we cannot defend nicely also, but we are progressing very nicely. Everybody go to a slaughterhouse school, come out with a degree, give me job, become a beggar, study for 15 years to become a beggar. Don't think what you want to do, don't understand what is your vocation, don't understand what is your varna. Everybody should study the same subjects, everybody should write the same exam, and in this way become a part of that thing, and then unemployment. Obviously, there will be unemployment. This kind of education system was brought by the Britishers to create slaves, and we have made that education system as the standard. So we are all becoming slaves. That is the problem. So therefore, this Varnashram system which Krishna has made, if we try to ignore it, we will suffer like anything. Now the world is trying to ignore this natural system of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. That is the Varna. And there is an ashram system also, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. So this combination of the Varna along with ashram is the structure of a civilized human society. If anybody tries to ignore this, they will suffer very badly. Brahmacharya. Whether you are married or whether you are not married, you should be self-controlled. Earlier, we used to have joint families. So there was grandfather, grandmother, so many uncles and aunts, and there was so many engagements, because when so many people live together, there will be so many engagements. So sinful life was not possible. Sense gratification was not possible to a huge degree. So much land to take care of, so much cows to take care of, so much festivals to participate in, so many ritualistic performance to engage in, so much religious affairs to engage in. But nowadays, the people have started, joint family has broken, no cooperation, no love, nothing. Put the child in the play school, both husband and wife will go and work. Why? Because they have taken a flat somewhere, a 2 crore flat, EMI they have to pay for the next 30 years. And husband and wife staying alone. That is the invitation for sense gratification. Do unlimited sense gratification. Father is not there, mother, nobody is there to tell you anything. Do whatever you want. So what is going to happen in such cases? Collapse. The whole family culture will collapse. The whole Varnashram system will collapse. And we are thinking that we are doing economic development, but trust me, this is not economic development. So the point which I'm trying to explain here is, we have to understand what Krishna says. Chatur varna maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagasha. If we want a peaceful, forget about spiritual life. If we want a peaceful material life, we have to understand what is our varna. And we have to follow the principles See, Varna is specific. Somebody by nature is a Kshatriya, somebody by nature is a Brahmana, and all those things. But ashram is same for everybody. Everybody should practice brahmacharya minimum 25 years before getting married. If somebody can continue lifelong as a brahmachari in the ashram, in the Gurukul, very good. Krishna says that is the first option. Everybody should be trained as a brahmachari. Everybody should be taught to look at everybody else except their own wife as mother. And if one can remain the servant of the spiritual master in the Gurukul, that is the best. Prabhupada says in his lectures that a brahmachari is 75% liberated. Only 25% he has to try, and then he'll go back home, back to God. However, if somebody is not able to control that sexual urge and has a lot of contamination in the heart, then they are allowed to marry. So why marry? So that they get the license for having union with their wife. But that also has to be done in a very, very regulated way. You cannot say, this is my wife, now I will do endless sex gratification. That's also not allowed. You have to do Garbhan Samskar. You have to produce nice children through Garbhan Samskar. And after that, you have to produce and take care of the children. So one child brings so many responsibilities. And you cannot, in the earlier times, when the husband and wife, I have seen it in my house. Once my father came into the home and my mother was sitting on the sofa, and my father came and sat next to my mother. My grandfather got up from there. He said, look at this person. He's so much attached to his wife that he's just sticking to his wife and sitting next to his wife in front of his father only. So much attachment to a woman. That was the culture of India. Even if brother and sister had to walk together, they have to walk with some distance. They cannot, walk hand in hand together. But these days, the public display of affection, which is happening and this and that, that's all horrible. The aim of life is to go back home, back to Godhead. And the Vedic civilization was very clear about it. The more one associates with the opposite gender, the more one man associates with a woman, or the more a woman associates with a man, with a desire to gratify their senses, with a desire for sense gratification, the more the body consciousness increases and the more the spiritual culture is forgotten. And then the animal cat dog life starts. So Vedic civilization was very clear about it. That even if we are husband and wife, we will unite only for the purpose of getting children and not for enjoyment purpose, using all these contraceptives and this and that. No. Even if we are husband and wife, we will not intermingle with each other too much. We will cooperate with each other. We will take care of the children. We'll progress with each other, help each other to grow in Krishna consciousness, take care of each other, but not too much mingling and not too much sense gratification. Because the more sense gratification, whether a man does with a woman or whether a woman does with a man, the more sense gratification you do, you will forget that you are not this, you're a spirit soul, but you'll start thinking that you're this body. Body consciousness increases in an environment of sense gratification. That is why the Vedic culture was very clear about it. Very clear about it. And that is why we had such pious people earlier. We had such great personalities. I often like this pastime of Tulsidas. His wife went to her brother's home for 6 months. But Tulsidas was very anxious to meet his wife. He could not bear the separation from his wife. So after 3 months, he went to the home of his wife's brother to see his wife. When he went there, the whole village criticized Tulsidas. That just look at this man. 6 months also he cannot control himself. The wife also criticized that you have cut my nose by coming here. Couldn't you wait for 6 months? I would have returned back to you. The wife's brother also criticized. The whole village criticized. Everybody so much criticized that he took sannyas. And then he became Tulsidas and started writing Ramcharitmanas. This was the spiritual culture of India. But now it is exactly opposite. Exactly opposite. People don't know these things. That is why everybody is suffering. Simply, if we bring back the Varnashram culture, which is only possible by becoming Krishna conscious. The goal of Varnashram system is to move towards Lord Vishnu, to move towards Lord Krishna. Whether I am a Shudra, but simply by following the duties of a Shudra, I have to advance in Krishna consciousness. Earlier, even a Shudra used to be peaceful, and everybody could go back home, back to God, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But now, because of the degradation of the Krishna consciousness of the people, the God consciousness of the people, because of the introduction of this slaughterhouse education system, which surely needs a replacement, because we are just producing cats and dogs and donkeys by this education system, because of the introduction of this degradation of the Varnashram culture, Kali Yuga is spreading like anything. And if things continue like this, in the next 20 years, almost everything of this Vedic civilization will be finished. Until unless all of you become preachers of Krishna consciousness, go out far and wide and preach Krishna consciousness to people. Tell them about Lord Chaitanya, tell them about Lord Nityananda, tell them about Krishna, tell them about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, ask them to chant, give your, because you are devotees, so give your association to them, give the books of Srila Prabhupada to them, give the Mahamantra to them, give some prasad to them, bring them for these various programs. Until unless we take this charge, I'm telling you, the rate at which this internet-based Kali Yuga is progressing in the environment of sense gratification and nuclear families, in the next 20 years, everything will be lost. Unless each one teaches one while being taught by one. It is not possible. Only Krishna consciousness can save people. Nothing else can save people right now. So I invite all of you, we'll stop here for today. I invite all of you to continue on this journey of Krishna consciousness very, very sincerely, and try to preach this message of Krishna consciousness. Become very serious in Krishna consciousness. Read the books of the Srila Prabhupada very scrutinizingly. A lawyer, when he reads the law book, he's reading with a purpose that he will be able to quote it later on in the court. Similarly, when we read scrutinizingly, we should also read that, yes, I should be able to present this logic to people. I should be able to present this science. People are so much attracted to false beauty. Only if they see the real beauty of Krishna, that will give them so much satisfaction to their heart, that they will get that happiness for which they have been hankering since so many lifetimes. Our job is very simple. We have to just connect everybody to Prabhupada. We have to just connect everybody to Krishna. We may not be so great personalities. We can be just humble devotees. But Krishna is all attractive. If you give a Krishna book to someone and if they really read it, their life will change. Because nobody can help being attracted to Krishna, because Krishna is really, really attractive. So you have to just connect everybody to Krishna. And I request all of you to assist in this preaching mission. Try to bring more and more people to these sessions. Yourself, you become Krishna conscious. Try to understand who is Lord Nityananda, who is Lord Chaitanya. Read the books of Srila Prabhupada very nicely. And in this way, progress. And finish up, become fully Krishna consciousness. Become fully Krishna conscious in this life. Finish your business and go back home, back to Godhead. Stop this endless journey of birth, disease, old age, and death. That too in Kali Yuga. So this is our request to all of you. I very much encourage devotees to get up in the early morning and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We should all try to arrange our life in such a way so that spiritual life should be in the center. At least we should try doing this from now. When we try doing this slowly, when we try doing this slowly, that means when we try to give Krishna consciousness a priority in our life, slowly, then one day that time will come when everything will revolve around Krishna consciousness in our life. So somehow we have to make some adjustments. Somehow we have to chant as early as possible, as much as possible. Then Krishna will give the intelligence to take some steps in life, to make some small, tiny sacrifices. And then these tiny sacrifices will give us spiritual strength, spiritual maturity, spiritual intelligence. And then one day we can really do something big for Krishna, preach nicely for the purpose of Krishna consciousness, become Krishna conscious, take initiation. I want all of you to take initiation as early as possible. Life is very short. Initiation means beginning of spiritual life. When you take initiation, your spiritual life begins. So, in one way, technically speaking, spiritual life has not begun for many people also. So we have to be very serious and we have to be very focused about this. Read the books of Prabhupada, chant very nicely. We are not asking you to stop doing whatever you are doing. Just do it. Do it nicely, no problem. But do it in a Krishna conscious way. Do it for Krishna. Arjuna was told, Ma manusmara yudhyacha, remember me and fight. So we also have to work for Krishna. Why am I going to office? So that I can get some money and I can help in Krishna conscious projects. We are trying to make a temple here, where we are trying to, wherever in Bangalore where we go, people ask 4 crores, 5 crores for a small piece of land. So all of you are young boys. You're not have children or you don't have any much commitments as such. You can take a vrata that, okay, I will contribute to this project of building a temple. So that is the purpose why I'm going to office. I'm going to office for the purpose of building Krishna's home. Now everything will become spiritual immediately. And then you'll all, no matter what you do in the office, you will not get any karma. Because you're doing it for Krishna. Of course, devotee means perfect. Arjuna was perfect. So you also have to be perfect. You have to be good at your work. But at the same time, the purpose why you are going to office is for assisting in Krishna conscious projects. Some of you may become, nice devotees. Some of you may become very, very nice devotees, whatever the case may be. But always the purpose should be to serve Krishna, serve the devotees of Krishna. That is the purpose. Why? Some of you are students. Why are you studying nicely? Why are you going to school? So that you can understand how to present the Krishna conscious philosophy in a nice way. Somebody is studying chemistry, and how using chemistry I can prove the existence of God. That should be the purpose. Similarly, if somebody is going to office, they should understand that I'm coming to office so that I can, assist in Krishna consciousness, assist in the mission of Krishna consciousness, mission of Srila Prabhupada. I should not be fully entangled in my studies and fully entangled in my work so that I have no time for Krishna consciousness. That is not the right way. If we continue like this, then very soon we'll be very repentant about it. I'm telling you. So we have to make a balance and we have to preach nicely. One question has come. Abhay Charan Prabhu is asking a question. Whom can we bring, Prabhuji? All friends might not be accepting it. They might also spread rumors about also. Yes, correct. Whom can we bring? We have to bring favorable people. How to check whether someone is favorable or not? Discuss something about Krishna consciousness to them. You can tell them, hey, look, I'm attending these sessions. They're really helping me. You have to first understand the kind of person he is. They're really helping me. Earlier, I was so much stressful, and earlier I was so much not knowing how to balance work and life. And I was inclined for all kinds of sinful activities and things like that. But now when I'm attending these sessions, I'm really understanding how to control my mind. I'm really beginning to understand how to be truly happy in life. You make some general statements like this. Would you like to join these sessions? They'll say, no, I'm not interested. I have so much work to do, so much to study. So, okay, thank you, no problem. Whenever you are interested, you let me know. So in this, when you talk to some people like this, you'll come to me. Similarly, sometimes you can take a verse from Bhagavad Gita and you can just share it oh, just see, I read this verse from Bhagavad Gita. I felt it is so much important in my life. Everybody will see, but somebody will appreciate. Yes, I also feel this is very good. Immediately catch hold of that person who has appreciated this verse. You know what? There is a class where this kind of discussions are going on. Would you like to join? Yes, sir, I would like to join. Please come. Like that. So see, this is we all know how to preach. Just we have to use our intelligence. Suppose if you have seen a very nice movie and you have to convince others to see that movie, how will you convince them? Different people may like different things. Someone may like action, someone may like drama. So the person who likes action, you will take the action aspect of that movie and say, oh, in this movie, the hero was jumping from a horse and this and that. Somebody who likes drama, in this movie, the hero was doing this and like that. So you know how to convince people. So similarly, based on you just try to understand what is the nature of the person next to you and try to present Lord Krishna, try to present the Bhagavad Gita according to their nature. If you talk to 10 people, maybe 8 times you will fail. But at least once you will be successful. And then you can bring one person. And then when you bring them here in this class, your responsibility doesn't get over. We don't take over that person. He is still your student. You have to cultivate them. You have to be in touch with them. You have to request them, share your realizations while chanting and things like that. This is the way. Another very simple way is book distribution. You order some books from us. Always keep some books in your bag, school bag or office bag. And wherever you go on your desk, you always keep some books. And somebody will come and see and then they'll become interested. You give that book to them, not for free. Take Lakshmi. And then you follow up with that person. Is he interested? Yes. Bring him to the sessions. Always have some books. Try to distribute those books to people. Some people will be receptive. Some people will be interested. Get back to them. Connect them to these sessions. There are so many ways. And you know what? When we engage ourselves like this, we save ourselves from sinful life. If we do not engage like this, then what we will do sense gratification. That's all. I hope this answers the question of Abhaycharan Acyuta. If it does, then kindly he can respond by typing yes or no. Okay. Are there any questions or comments before we close for the day today?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Chaitanya Sairam Prabhu, please.
Previously, I have seen one interview regarding this Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu. So, in his interview, he has mentioned that Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book.
Correct.
So, after that, again, I came across one video. In that video, Tattvavid Das Prabhu is saying, how can he say that it is not a religious book? And he made counter video against to him.
Who has made?
Tattvavid Das.
Okay. Which temple he belongs to?
I don't know, Prabhuji.
Okay. See, the intention when we say Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book, the intention here is that we should not say that Bhagavad Gita is a Hindu book. Okay. We cannot say that Bhagavad Gita is a Hindu book. Bhagavad Gita is a book where God is speaking to his devotee. Now, God is God. He's same for everybody. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarva yoneshu kaunteya aham bij pradapita. That I am the seed-giving father of all the living entities. Krishna never said, I am the seed-giving father only for Hindus or only for Indians. Certainly, Bhagavad Gita is a religious book because dharma means dharmam to sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Religion means to become a servant of God. That which Krishna speaks, that which God speaks is religion. So certainly, Bhagavad Gita is a religious book. But the present day definition of religion means Hindu, Muslim, Christian, and all that. So this definition of present day definition of religion which we have is a wrong definition. So for that purpose, when someone says Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book, it is correct. Yes. Hindus should read it. Muslims should read it. Christians should read it. Anybody who wants to become God conscious should read this book. It is not a Hindu Granth, or Krishna is not an Indian God. God is God. So the present day definition of religion is very corrupted definition. They say, what is your religion? You will write Hindu. What is your religion? Christianity. No. So according to this definition, if someone says Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book, it is correct. However, from the principle of Sanatana Dharma, if you see, Bhagavad Gita is a religious book because religion means to become a servant of God. And Bhagavad Gita teaches, and whatever God speaks, that is true religion. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkitam dharma samsthapanadhaya. So Krishna comes to establish the dharma or religion. And what is the dharma? Jivera Swarup Hai Krishnera Nityadas. The eternal constitutional position of a living entity is to become a loving servant of God. That is dharma. So in that, on the standard of Sanatana Dharma, for a mature student, Bhagavad Gita is a religious book. But the present day definition of religion is so corrupted that sometimes in that context people say it is not a religious book. I hope you have understood both sides of the picture.
Yes, Prabhu. Even I felt the same. Sometimes when I read some slokas, I felt it is a religious book. When I read some slokas, I feel like it is a life manual.
See, both it is a religious book. Religion means to become a servant of God. And that is only possible when you have a life manual with you. So in that way, both statements are right. Okay. So I will suggest you, not just to Chaitanya Sai Ram Prabhu, but to everybody, if you really want to learn Krishna consciousness, stop trying to become Krishna conscious on the internet. I repeat, if you really want to learn the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna consciousness in general, do not try to learn from the internet, because internet is fully corrupted. Fully corrupted. We don't even have the right maturity to take the right stuff and leave the wrong stuff. You are seeing one video from Bhagavad Gita, around that video so many other videos are there which will, you will realize, oh, 2 hours went away. So everybody should try to minimize their internet usage first of all. Now I recommend a software. I recommend a software which I have been using very recently. I've been using from quite some time. It's called as, I've written the name here. Everybody can install this software on their laptop, and that they can track how many hours they are spending on the internet. Are they wasting time or are they not wasting time? Nobody wants to spend 2 hours every day reading the news, but they end up doing that. And they cannot stop it. So we need some control, some regulation. We should all have some surveillance softwares installed on their laptops as well as on the mobile. For mobile, I recommend this, the name which I have mentioned, that is for laptop. For mobile, I recommend so try to make have these surveillance softwares installed that will save you from wasting time. And also, even apart from these things, if you really want to learn Krishna consciousness, talk to devotees, not simply depend on YouTube videos, because YouTube videos, sometimes we may not be able to understand the context. Sometimes they are misleading. Sometimes there are some envious people who are making wrong videos and posting. And people are so mad, so bad, that whatever they hear on the YouTube and whatever they read in the newspaper, they believe it, whether it is the reality or not. So don't get into this game. I recommend all the students here, if you want to learn anything, call me, call other devotees who are connected to you, like Vivek Prabhu is connected to some of you, Abhay Charan Prabhu is connected to some of you, and who else is there? Shiva Satish Prabhu will be connected to some of you. So call them, call me, spend time, become personal, don't be impersonal. Call, spend time with us. Those who are in Bangalore, they can visit our center, have some prasad with us, come on yatras. In fact, I am personally interested to talk to all of you at least once. Especially Ashwin Kannan Prabhu, I'm trying to get your time. I request you to get in touch with me. I really want to talk to you. I've not talked with you for many days. Chaitanya Sai Ram Prabhu, I've not talked with you for many days. Paras Single Prabhu, I keep meeting on a regular basis. So Ashish Rena Prabhu, all of you can just message me when suggest me some time when I can call you. We can just have a short discussion. How are you? How's your health? How's your work? How are your family members? When we talk to each other.
Ajit Prabhu and Kunal Prabhu also.
Yes, Kunal Prabhu also. Everybody.
And Ajit Prabhu also.
Ajit Prabhu, yes. Ajit Prabhu these days is not coming to the center only. I don't know what has happened to him. Once he gave Vrindavan Prasad, after that he never came. So please come, Ajit Prabhu, sometime.
No, Prabhu, I'll come. I'll come, Prabhu.
Yeah. Make a plan.
For Yatra.
Yeah, Yatra.
I'm coming for Yatra, Prabhu. Yes, I'm coming for Yatra.
Yes. I will recommend everybody, please take whatever steps possible to come on the Yatra. This is a once in a lifetime Yatra. It changes the consciousness. We make tremendous advancement on Yatras. I remember when I went for the first time on Yatra with the devotees, life changed after that. I became seriously, I made some very quick progress in Krishna consciousness. So all of you, if possible, please come on this Yatra. Okay? And try to attend the morning japa sessions at least once in a week. Make a target that once in a week I will attend. Or else, devotees are very merciful. They are calling you and they are chanting with you. So do that. Do some book distribution. Make a plan that at least once in a month, at least those who are in Bangalore, they should try to visit. Personally spend time with me. Spend time with devotees. Those who are coming for Yatra, there is a base nearby. I recommend them, spend some time in the base, see how these boys who are working, they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, they have bath, they come for Mangala Aarti at 4:30. After that, they do Tulsi Aarti and then they sit and hear a Prabhupada lecture for half an hour and then they chant. Then they pack their tiffin, have breakfast, go to office, then they come back and then they do some services. Have a glass of hot milk, have some chit chat with each other, then they sleep. What is their lifestyle? You come and see. These people are also working, but they are Krishna conscious completely. So I recommend all of you who are coming on the Yatra, even if you are not coming for the Yatra, take out some time to get an exposure to this base lifestyle. Base means Bhaktivedanta Academy of Cultural Education, BACE. It's a place where those working professionals who are very serious or want to become very serious in Krishna consciousness, they stay there. So we recommend all of you to get exposed to this also. Every Saturday, under the guidance of Abhay Charan Prabhu, all the base devotees, they go out for book distribution. So sometimes you can just take out some time and join us. We go on the Marathalli Bridge for book distribution. So join us for 1 hour and just see how it feels, distributing books with the devotees, learn with them. So see, nothing will happen until we prioritize and we plan. Nothing will happen as if all of a sudden Krishna will give me 20 hours free and then I will become Krishna conscious. No. Life is a struggle and Krishna consciousness has to be made a priority. Please don't wait for that day when everything becomes simple, everything becomes easy, and then you will become Krishna conscious. No, that is never going to happen. Sorry, this is the material world. We have to find out time, make time for Krishna consciousness. So with this short note, with this missionary note, I want all of you to become missionaries of Bhagavad Gita. I want all of you to live the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I want all of you to become fully Krishna conscious. On this note, I would like to end today's discussion. I hope, are there any questions or comments? Okay, if no, then we will end today's discussion. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.